السلام علیکم دوستانو مونږه څلورم سیمینار ته ښه راغلاست انشاءالله د مغه خو درځي ټولو ته
وعلیکم سلام بالکل ستا غږ راځي ورو ډېره زیاته مننه
خیر دی الله مو خوشحاله که برادرای عزیز نظر به سیمینار امروز که آقای تاج‌الدین تاج رئیس اکس هم هست امروز واپش میگیرن انشاءالله سیمینار دیگه نظر به مو به شکل بسیار مهم و بسیار خوب دیگه انشاءالله این سیمینار رو پیش میبریم و تمامتان خواهش میشه که میکروفون‌ها و کامرایتان خاموش میشه دوستانو د ما غږ اورئ
بله اورو
السلام علیکم تاج‌الدین sir. Can you hear me?
ستا غږ اورو خو دا لاوډ سپیکر دا ولا ډېر خراب دی داسې ډنګ ډنګ غوا
اوس صحیح شو وروره اورئ انشاءالله اوس
Hello, assalamu alaikum from India.
وعلیکم السلام Mr. Tajuddin, welcome to our seminar.
Wa alaikum assalam. Yeah, so how many people has been joined?
About 16 people,
Uh-huh.
Tajuddin sir, and they are specially from MCIT and Afghanistan Bank.
Uh-huh. So most of them are working in bank. Mm-hmm.
No, most of them are working in MCIT, sir. They are Bachelor of Computer Science and IT specialists and network managers.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
MashaAllah. Okay, so can we start now before
So if you have anything to say to participants so they can hear you, you can check your voice.
is it my voice is audible now?
Yes, yes,
Can you hear my voice, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
I will also ask from the participants.
Uh-huh.
Told Ustad Muhtaram Bagauri.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, if they have any question or something else, they can write in chat box. So
Yeah.
you can go on, sir.
Sure. Yeah. Can you able to see my screen?
Not now, sir. But you are allowed to share your screen with us.
I think you should give the permission to allow my screen sharing.
You're allowed, sir. Yes. Now we can see your screen, sir.
Can you see now?
Yes, yes, yes.
You can see, right? You can
Yes.
see, right?
Yes, we can see.
Now it's clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So can we start? Imatullah, anybody else are supposed to join now?
We have 24 participants, so we can start. Majuddin, sir.
Okay, so did we invited to Zaid and Malali Alam, Ismat madam?
I send the emails with them, and
Okay.
I also share the links
Okay.
with Malalai Alam. So inshallah, as soon as possible, they will come.
Yeah, fine, no issues. Okay, guys, all are working in IT industry, right? You're working for different IT sectors, right? So, can you able to hear my voice, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
دوستانو یې ټولو نه هیله کېږي که د استاد جواب په چک باکس کې ورکړئ خو ډېره به ښه وي دا مایکروفونونه هم بند کړئ.
Okay, guys, so can we start now? I don't want to put the delay. We'll start it now.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Mohammad Tajuddin. I am from India. So I work for many industry, more than 10 years. Then again, 10 years I work as a corporate trainer in India and abroad. Okay, so many, I have trained more than 50 countries IT professional across the world, here in India and many other countries. So today's seminar will be, I'm discussing about the data center technology, which is Cisco. As you know that Cisco technology is #1 in networking, right? So what we are going to do today, we shall have the discussion about what are the devices we are using, okay, and what are the different infrastructure required. Then we'll go for some basic concept for the cloud technology, how the cloud technology has been come. So first thing is, beside the cloud technology, the first thing is data center. So we should discuss now. So as we can see on your screen, first screen, my name is Mohammad Tajuddin. You can see we have the company in Infotonic Service Private Limited company in India, Bangalore city, which is the IT capital of the world in India. So as you know that for any data center, so before I could start the data center, what is data center? Data center is nothing but it is a combination of the servers, network switches, storage switches, as well as LAN switches. Okay, as you know that you might aware of that, you might learn the routing switching like your CCNA, CCNP. There where we are using your router switches, 1900 series and 3000 series and catalyst switches, right? So nowadays we are not using any router at all. We are using the layer 3 switches, right? So then we'll come to the servers. First, what happened? So what we do in servers, as you know that server in olden days, we are using the world servers, right? In world servers, like one server, okay, one power supply and one operating system. In that operating system, we are going to install your Word, Excel, and your company applications. See, in olden days, what happened? So how does the scale up will works? Say monolithic servers means one server will be having a large CPU. CPUs was very good on the days. I'm talking about the 1990s. In olden days, your proprietary platform and your proprietary operating system and many application per servers. So one operating system, one server, and you have the few application you can able to run, right? So these are the, it could be very high cost. If you see, if you buy these servers, it could be very expensive. You can see the proprietary large failure domain. There might be chances for the law of the software failure. I think you might remember in about, I'm talking about 10, 15 years back, there's a lot of internet connectivity, right? Because of the servers disconnected, because the infrastructure is very low. The companies like your Sun Systems, Microsystems, and IBM, and you have the HP. So these people, they provide the servers. They provide the server. They have their own servers. Okay, only one server. Just like I think you might seen the servers like your desktop servers. How the desktop servers look like? The olden days, same servers were using on that time. In earlier 90s, in 2000, what happened? Again, they have come up with a few technologies like commodity servers. Okay, one application and one physical server. Right, one server, only one application we can run. I think you might know about the application and physical server. So these servers, this is nothing but a x86 platform. What is this x86 platform? It's a server series. Sorry, it's a microprocessor, which is a brain of the computer, right? Which is a brain of the computers. So as you can see, next thing is commodity operating systems. We'll be having the one operating system where we are using for your bare metal. Okay, bare metal is nothing but a physical machine, dummy machine, which has no operating system. In earlier 2000s, these are the companies again they have come up, like server unified utilization, okay, power and cooling. As you know that server will consume the more power, it requires the more cooling, right? So these are the company which they have designed this company, your Dell, HP, so Compaq, IBM, and Sun Systems. So these are the people they develop these software. Means one physical server and one application. As we can see now on my screen. On my screen, we can see, so one application and one physical server, right? So next, if you check, if you see, scale in here, what happened? You are using the blade and rack servers. You are using the blade and your rack servers. So here what happened? What is the advantage of this one means? Will be hang the blade with it will be server will be very small, where you can save the space and will available number of sockets. Sockets in the sense like connectivity. How do you connect? Multiple sockets, multiple core of the CPU, where we can up to we will be having more core CPUs. Okay, and x44. This is 64-bit microprocessor. Keep in mind, guys. This is 64-bit and this is 32-bit operating microprocessor I'm talking about. This is 32 and this is 64-bit operating system. So here commodity operating system are same. Here also they are using the same operating system. One of the biggest revolutions happened now is this is the main advantage, virtual machine density. Okay, here what happened, we are using only one physical server, okay, and one application, right? Here we can, in one physical server, we can use your maximum 10 virtual machines depending upon your server specification, like your RAM, microprocessor, these all things. Like we can install lot of servers in one physical machine. Okay, so management complexity will be very cool. It's a cloud computing and dynamic resourcing. So these are the company they have come up with the your this one Blade and Rackmount servers. These company they sell your HP and Cisco and your Dell and IBM. These people they send your HP Blade and Rackmount servers. As you can see, the server scalability change in the servers. See, this all the whole thing we are using, guys. See, this all the one server will be having different connectivity. As you can see, we have the socket, how they connect with each other, as we can see on your screen. Okay, this is different connectivity. So nowadays, what happened? So now all this server will be integrated to single UCS chassis. So as we can see on your screen, so this is one Blade server. These all the servers, guys, keep in mind. So as we can see on my slide, you can see here, these all are the one servers. In one server, so what we can do, we can install, so minimum, I think 10 servers we can install. We can install up to your 10 servers. Okay. And this is nothing but this box, what you can see. So this box, you will call it as a your UCS chassis, means Unified Computing System. UCS means Unified Computing System, where you are inserting in your UCS chassis. This is UCS chassis. This is all the UCS chassis, and this is all the your Blade servers. We can call the Blade servers. Where what are the software we are using? We are using the console. Console is to access this UCS chassis to manage the servers. It's required. You'll be having the dual power supply. If one power supply go down, you can see the power supply, two power supply. One power supply is go down, so another will be active, like backup. And we'll be having a storage connectivity separately and shared chassis. So this chassis is connected for your another chassis, like this. And here also we'll be having your lot of your rack mount servers like this. I will show you the real time how this chassis look like. So this is a microprocessor, guys. As you can see on my screen, this is a single socket, right? This is single socket servers, as you can see on the screen. Okay. And another one is, and this is also single socket, the Xeon processor. So nowadays we are using this processor in our laptop, guys, like your i5, i7, 4th generation, 5th generation, right? So again, they have developed this one socket and one CPU and 4 core processing. Means one core processing, we can use your, we can install your one servers. One server we can able to install it. The terminology what we are using here, socket slot in the machine board. Okay, slot in the machine board for processing the chip. Okay, CPU processing, and you will be having the inside the CPU and server impact. What is the advantage if you use? Keep in mind, nowadays we are using this technology. One socket, you can find lot of CPU and lot of your microprocessors. So more core in the CPU, more process, right? Okay, if you have the more CPU, we can run many applications, right? So critical for the application that became processing with the bond. The core density are increasing like 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16 is keep on increasing. Because if you have more number of core CPU, okay, like this we can run more number of applications, right? More number of operating system we can install in one server, more number of application we can install. The CPU is nothing but your minimum is 64-bit operating system. Nowadays, almost all it's coming by inbuilt 64-bit operating system. So server scalability in memories, as you know that this is a dual inline memory. So where you can see in your screen, this is dual inline memory. Okay. Nowadays, this is the old one. Nowadays, we are using the dual inline memory D3. It's come on a D2, D3, D4. Now it has come into DIMM, we'll call it DIMM, DIMM D4. DIMM D4. D4 means a dual inline memory model. Series dynamic random access memory in a circuit indicate model. This model is printed circuit board. Okay. So model includes 2 or more set of dynamic RAM chips. Okay, as I told you, we'll be having one dual and quad rank exists in that, because how much we have the megahertz speed, that much speed of the RAM is very important. As you know, that RAM is a very important components in your any computers or servers or any UCS, any computers. Okay. Next thing is the server memory increase speed with some drop in order to able to utilize such large memories, because it is depending upon the server microprocessor, right? I hope you understood, right? Okay, next thing is we'll go for the adapters. What is this adapters? Where you can see uh, this is the motherboard, right, guys? In your laptop, in your desktop, I think you might seen this board, right? This all the slot what we can see here. This all what we can see we'll call the expansion slots. So anybody mute this thing, guys?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, and this is called the adapter, where you can see adapter, and this is your LAN card. I think you might seen this, right, guys? This is the socket where you will connect the LAN cable for you access the internet and run, right? Can you see this on the slide? So nowadays we are not using this, guys. Okay, even this one also we are not using it. Why I'm showing this one on your screen is to understand, because I'm going to show the 3D animation of this all the switches and UCH chassis and cloud infrastructure. Okay, these are the PCI slots, guys. PCI slots are we'll also call the expansion slot. Both are same. This used to connect. This will go and insert in this slot. Okay, we'll take this and insert this in your slots, where we'll get the connectivity, where we can connect for your LAN, to get your internet. So nowadays it is gone. Now it is coming inbuilt now. So line composed transmission receive the up to 32 line. Okay, you will be having your this is the line. These lines, what you can see, these I'm talking about, only this part is 32 line. Okay, a form factor PCI card fit to the slot, physical size having a 16-bit length, and smaller size also available. Okay, this is the old one which you can see here. Okay, this is a very important slide, guys. So you have to pay some more attention here. I'm going to explain the growing use of platform of your virtualization. Okay, what is virtualizations? So virtualization is nothing but in one physical machine, one physical server, where you can install more operating system, is nothing but a virtualizations, like your VMware and VMware workstation, VM Fusion, and one more is that is Oracle VirtualBox. These are all a different vendor where you can see is available to virtualize your machines. Like if you install in your server or laptop, where you can install your Windows or Linux or Ubuntu or server also we can install. This is the what I said. This is a virtualization. The platform virtualization. What is this means? The physical server hosts multiple servers. So physical server hosts multiple virtual servers. You need to buy only one server. In that we can install lot of virtual servers. Right? It is nothing but you will be having, you buy the new shirt. In that shirt you will be having a lot of pockets. Right? You will be having on the chest, side, left and side, back side, a lot of pockets. That all pockets will call it as your servers, right? No need to buy one. In olden days, 1990s and 2000, okay, only one physical server and you will be having the one applications. Nowadays, what we are doing, you buy one server where you can install your virtual servers. As we can see on your screen, guys, on your screen, I'm highlighting this one, the marker. Okay, so these are the different management for your virtual machines. You can see this is the consolidated backup, and we are using the vMotions, high availability, and DRS. So here at the middle, this to manage this all virtual machine, we are using the software called Virtual Center Management Servers. Because as we can see, this is the VMware ESXi server. This is we are going to install in your physical servers. Okay, so this is we are going to install your physical servers. So in this I'm talking about only one machine, guys. Suppose example, you buy this only one server. Fine, you buy this only one server. Okay, in that one server, what are the things you are going to install? Like first you are going to install the ESXi. Okay, in this ESXi, we are going to install your Microsoft, okay, your Linux, and your Ubuntu, and a lot of machines like any operating system. Like we are going to install one of Microsoft here, again Linux and Ubuntu, or your CentOS, lot of applications, right? Only I'm talking about this. That's the reason it has make like this blue, right? Can you see here? In one server, we are going to install how many operating system you get? So here it is 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, as I told you, right? In one physical server, we are going to install your 10 servers. Just imagine to buy 10 servers, how much it cost. It's very expensive, right? For example, if you go and buy the HP server or Dell server, okay, it costs not less than I think $5,000, 4 to 5 and 10,000 up to $10,000. I'm talking about one server, right? If you buy one server, what you are going to do? You will having the 10 servers here. That is the advantage of your virtualization, right? So all are you understanding, guys? Are you able to understand my English?
Yes, sir, we can understand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, we can understand.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Because I can speak Urdu. I can't speak Persian and Pashto. Right. Okay. So I hope you understood, guys. This is very important, guys. If you are IT guy, you're working for the bank sectors, and bank network network is very critical in real time, right? If something happened, means it could be a big issue. So all are virtualizations, right? So now we'll come for the key technology. What are the key technology we are using here in the virtualization? We are using the VDI, VXI, server consolidations and cloud services, and your DR. What are the challenging we are facing? What are the challenging? You can see this is the one enterprise server, right? One enterprises network, okay, and enterprises and storage. So first you have to keep in mind here. So for server, you will be having the different team. This is team 1. Okay, for networking, we'll be having your team 2. For storage engineer, we'll be having a team 3. Just to manage what? One UCS. Understood, guys? To manage one UCS, you require a lot of people, right? This is only one UCS one. I'm talking about only one UCS, right? I'm talking about only one UCS. So just imagine if you have 100 UCS, like how many engineers required? A lot of people required, right? Okay. So to manage that software also required. That software is called your management server, we'll call virtual center. Fine. I hope you understood. I think storage engineer will be having. Just imagine nowadays the storage is free, right? So example, Gmail. All you have the Gmail address, right? Correct. They are giving 15 GB per account, right? free, no need to pay anything. Okay, for that the people they are managing it will come into your storage server. So keep in mind what I'm talking about the data center is, okay, so it is a combination of servers, network and storage. These three technology clubbed together we'll call the data center. Fine. So next thing is server. How do you manage the server if you have some thousands of servers? So as you can see on the screen, you'll be having your different vendors, vendor A, vendor B, vendor 3. Just imagine this is your HP, this is HP company, this is your IBM, okay, and this is your Cisco, different company. And management is the same, guys. You'll be having the chassis management, network management, and server management. Fine. Whatever you manage or any company, the functions, the functionality will be the same. The functionality of the this thing is the same one. So no difference. If you take all, we can see the same. The what I'm talking about, manager to managers means all are same. They are working together. So keep in mind, they can interconnect with each other as well. They can interconnect to each other. Fine. So next, I'll go for next move on the basic characteristic of movement of towards the cloud technology. How the cloud technology has been come up. So when I studied, I doesn't know about what is cloud. The cloud means I will think, I thought about like Asman. I will think like this. I don't know what is cloud when I studied. Okay. So I will think cloud, badal aa gaya sar pe. Cloud. I don't know what is the cloud when I studied. So it has been come cloud. Okay. So first thing you can see in 1960s. In 1960s, okay. So here what happened, I can see the guy who is sitting, say example, I think your friend, I think Ismatullah is sitting here and he's doing some chatting here. He's doing some, this is a very old one. One server, one guy has to be operate. Then they introduced mainframe and then mini computers. You can see next technology, it has been improved, come up with your client server technology. This has been there included. You can see we'll be having one server and one client. Lot of clients are connected to the servers, right? We can see on the screen. Then we cannot access this client server remotely. This is very important point. Suppose I am sitting here in India, right? In my computers, okay, this is your Taj, okay. I cannot able to access this client server remotely, right? So again, they have developed in 2000. What happened in 2000? What they have developed using the web technology. Using the web, I can able to access this server remotely. So example, this infrastructure is in Afghan. Example, this is in Afghan. So I am in India. I am in India. So I want to access your server. So by sitting in India, I can able to access your server. So this thing is not possible in 1990s. It's not possible. So the web technology has been come remotely. We can be able to access. The best example I can say Zoom. What we are doing right now, right? We can able to see my video. I can see the few guys are watching video, attending my seminar, right? This is the best example, right? So we can, many people are able to hear my voice, right? So next I'll go for virtual machine. I think this might I explained about this one, right? We can see this is the one machines where you can install a number of operating system and many applications, right? And then it will come to your cloud, as we can see. You can see, right, cloud. You can see the cloud technology. So in cloud technologies, it will come your all virtualization, servers, networking, storage, everything will come. Okay. And next thing is you can see this is also very important point. Okay, what are the typical cloud services? Okay, software as a service. Okay, this is the SaaS we call software as a service, and platform as a service. What is this platform as a service? This is okay. Networking as IaaS means infrastructure as a service. What is software means? Say example, this is a Zoom meeting, is there net meeting? You need to buy the software, right? Even for your Android mobile phone, okay, that is a free of cost when you buy the phone. If you buy the laptop, okay, you need to buy the Microsoft operating system, Windows 10 or server, right? So if you buy these cloud services, okay, they will give the server to access to you. Platform as a service, provide the data center infrastructure via a cloud. So as you can see, right? So as you can see, okay, it will provide the infrastructure to you. Okay, you need not buy the any infrastructure, right? So best example we can see the few cloud service providers like your Amazon Web Series, Joyet, Flectex. Again, you will be having Google. Google also, they are also providing your cloud service, right? Okay, and Microsoft Azure, and these people also giving these services. These all services I'm talking about. This 1 and 2 and 3. These 3 services they are giving infrastructure. Don't need to buy any server, guys. Just if you want a server, and one more company I forgot to tell, that is your Alibaba. That is a Chinese guy by Jack Ma. I think you might know, right? Alibaba, right? These are the again company, they give the services. If you want the server, okay, no need to buy any servers. Just go and register yourself. Just you can pay some money, you can buy these servers. We'll get good operating system. We'll be having the real operating system as well. Fine. So I'll move on. We'll be having another 3 minutes left. Okay. To manage this cloud computing, we'll call the cloud computing, guys. This all we'll call the cloud computing. So applications like your Salesforce, Gmail. Just as I said, Gmail is free. Why? Do you know why? Why Gmail is free means they are giving 15 GB. If you create your account, just give your mobile number, you can register, you will get email address, right? What he will do, he will give 15 GB free of cost, right? 15 GB for one email address, he'll give the free. Okay, if the full, if it is 50 GB is full, if you want to more another 15 GB or 50 GB, so you need to pay some money. Okay, fine. This thing is we have Bootcamp, Squarespace, and these are the management. How do you manage this? Okay, the 3-tier, right? Scaling, yeah, Scala, so Webatera. So these are the few management portal. How do you manage this? The platform you can see like your Python, Google. That is the best example. The application server, Facebook. Okay, AppStreak. Okay, Force.com. So these are the platform. We can buy your software, you can hardware. Okay, just we can focus on your business, right? So whatever the infrastructure you want, you can buy from the cloud. Fine. And these are the cloud layer, guys, where you can see service category, architecture and management, and infrastructure. Okay, so VDI, CRM, and web storage, and this all your management. How do you manage this all softwares? Now this is a very important point. In the second section, I'm going to talk about your animations, some few lab part, which is the very interesting, guys. Okay, computing like UCS, B series, C series servers. I'll show you these servers right now or in the second session. And networking will be having the FCOE, fiber channel over Ethernet, Nexus 7000 series, 5K. 5K means 1000, 7000, 5000, 4000, 3000, and 2000 series data center switches. And virtualization will be having your Nexus 1000V via FEX and virtual ports and VSG. Okay, so these are the cloud layers. Will be having the layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 engineers, right, to work in any enterprises